Good morning, I'm Catherine, and welcome to my hillside garden in Zone 6, Northeast Pennsylvania. Today I've decided we're going to plant the shallots out, and last year when I had shallots I did them in my Zone 7 garden, and I've almost run out of room there, so I need to work on planting them here. So I had to do a little research because predominantly here in my Zone 6 garden I do square foot gardening. So I referenced my square foot gardening book by Mel Bartholomew, and he doesn't have shallots in here. So what I did look at was I looked at onions. Similar family, so I thought perhaps they would be the same amount of spacing. And in here he recommends 16 per square. But an onion grows straight up and bulbs at the top of the ground, where if you've never seen a shallot, it's really a very pretty plant once it splits. And it becomes almost like a flower flat on the ground with the bulbs coming in different directions. So I think I need a little bit more room than 16 per square. So I looked at another reference book I have, the New Seed Starter's Handbook, to see if they had shallots in it. And they do not. So I also looked at onions to see what they recommended. And for here, they give you the difference between planting by seed, planting by set, or planting by transplant. So that still isn't going to help. So then I went to my gardening shelf and I got Rodell's Ultimate Encyclopedia Organic Gardening. Great book. They do have shallots in here. They have it under the onion family, and what it says is shallots, a favorite of French chefs, have a blue-green stem that's used when young. In addition, it has gray, angular, mild flavor bulbs that are related to the multiplying onion, and it's used like a mild flavored garlic. Shallots will tolerate all but the most acid soils, but dig the earth deeply because the plants put down an 8-inch long feeder root. However, they have no lateral roots, so space them just 2 to 3 inches apart. So what I've decided I'm going to do in my 12-inch square is I'm going to put 9 plants and see how that works for this year. And I'll be sure to note that in my gardening journal, so I'll know for next year, if I do need to grow them here, how many I can get in a 12-inch square. So that's why having a few reference books on your library shelf can be very helpful. Let's get planting. Okay, so we're in one of the beds of the wall garden where we have the outdoor garlic that I planted in the fall. I have my 12 inches marked out across, and I've also noticed I have 21 shallots. So I think I'm going to go with 7 instead of 9, just because that's what I have. And let's see. It said only 2 to 3 inches apart. We just want to loosen up this dirt a little bit. This was supplemented several weeks ago with the mushroom compost. Excuse me. So let's see. If I remember correctly, maybe I think perhaps we're going to do 4. We're going to do 4 per square, partly because of the amount of shallots that we have, and partly because I want to be sure we get a nice harvest. So I'll plant them in a couple different places in the yard, and that way we'll get a better idea of how they're going to grow. So it said in the Rodell book to plant them about 3 inches apart. We're going a little farther, and about 1 inch deep. Because of that piece of wood, we have to alter that one a little bit. And then we're just going to pop them out of the square that it's in. Being gentle. Sorry for the view, but look at these roots. Wait till you see. Look at those great roots. So that way we know this plant is going to do well. Okay. We're going to put it in a little bit deeper than what it is in the pot. Not a lot. And this way. Just remember how it is now. And as it splits, it's going to fill this whole space. But the roots don't go very far, so that's the good part about them. But the tops go farther than regular onions do. Here's another one. Beautiful root system on it. And I think that's part of the reason why I like to do them in the cells, because then I'm sure that what I'm using has the best chance of growing. And that way there seems to be no wasted space. So you have to see how that guy does. I should have put a smaller one there. And they just come very easily out of the cell. Around my bleeding hearts here. And I'll put that in there. And we're just going to cover that just a bit. Not a lot. Just a bit. And this way, there's your 4 squares. And that's the beginning. So let's put a marker in. And I put the date, where I got them from, because I don't know the type of shallot they are, and that I transplanted them here on April 26th. Okay, let's go to the next spot. Okay, now we're in the current bed garden area. And we're going to put 4 shallots over here also. So this soil was supplemented in the fall with some ground up leaves. And then I believe also, oh maybe not, was it? I think I put some mushroom compost down a few weeks ago. Let's give it a little, give our other one over there. So let's see. 12 inches. There we go. That's a square. So we're going to put 4 in here also. It's a raised bed. Very easy to dig. That's the one nice thing about a raised bed. And here, I'll show you how these come out. They just came out lovely, very gently, very gently. Just rock it and look at that great root system. So we're going to put the first one in there. Just a little bit of extra dirt along the top. And each one has gorgeous roots on it. So it's definitely something, if you haven't tried before, pre-sprouting, I guess. Your onion, you could do this with your onion sets also, to make sure that they each are going to grow. And it doesn't take very much space because you can leave them outside as long as it's the time that they should have been planted anyway. If you have a grow room and you need the space, at least you don't have to worry about that. And let's get the last one. I don't want to pull too hard. There we go. Get him up here. There we go. Okay. And then, yes, I do have my tag, and as I said, I have it labeled with the name, where I got it from, and when it was transplanted. So this is the current bed. 4 more shallots planted.